back through Binh Thanh. Because this is the easiest way to go. So this is the way I almost always go. Unless I'm working somewhere else before I go up there. All the way from Bui Vien to District 12. Which is all the way across Saigon, basically. On a motorbike. This here is a one-way. I'd like to go that way, but you ain't supposed to do that. Nope, you're not supposed to do that. People go the wrong way here all the time, but the police will stop you for that if they see you. Fish some money out of your pockets or something. Now the police are pretty cool here. I mean, they're pretty, compared to the USA, they're very mellow, very relaxed. They almost come off as friendly. You should have a driver's license here from Vietnam probably, but your results may vary. Like in the West. Kind of like in the West, when you get busted for something, your results may vary depending upon your name and your class, where you're from, and who you're involved with. You know how it is in the USA. No different than anywhere else in the world. I used to think it was different when I was a kid. Then I grew up and realized it's not. No, people who commit crimes in the USA, their results will just be all across the board. I mean, you know, you may get away with murder. You may get away with absolute murder. It depends on who you are. Or other people may not get away with a victimless crime. They may get the book thrown at them. It depends on who you are. I'm sure it works like that here and everywhere else too. I've heard of people committing serious crimes back home where I'm from and not getting in any trouble for it. Depending upon, you know, who they're affiliated with. A good example, of course, is the police. If the police do something wrong, they go sideways a little bit, usually they're lightly punished, or if at all. Sometimes they're just moved somewhere else. Yeah, from Indiana, a lot of crazy stuff happens in Indiana, believe me. A lot of unexplainable, unusual things, tragic things, just like television. Bizarre things that just hurt. unfortunate and sad. I once had a neighbor who lived across the road from me when I was, I want to say maybe I was 20 or 21. And this guy, he had it going on. I thought he was a pretty nice guy. He had a nice house across the road. He was driving truck. He actually took me out on his, took me out on a run with him a couple of times, and let me drive his truck even, which is a big no-no nowadays, you know. I was a lot younger then, and I don't think it was as strict, but so I drove his semi, and I thought he was a pretty nice guy, really. But years later, him and his brother, let me see if I can figure out how this went down. It was him and his brother and a couple of my relatives, basically, two cousins, and the two cousins, one was a cop, deputy, and so anyhow, basically this guy, my neighbor, and his brother were cooking up meth, a lot of it, in the basement of his house. And they had the grandma living in the basement or something, and living off of her Social Security. I don't know. They were doing some really crazy stuff. And so anyways, the two other guys, the cousins, they basically, I think they ratted him out, or they narked him out. I don't know. Well, I don't know. But so anyways, the neighbor and his brother, they both went to prison for a while. They were facing like 80 years at first. The feds come in and everything. I don't know. They didn't end up getting 80 years. A few years after that, this guy, my neighbor, he was out of prison. And he's uptown working at the family bar. The bar his family owned, or that they used to own. He was bartending there after being out of prison, right? And one night he starts drinking and telling everybody how he's going to go over and kill this guy that narked him out, one of the cousins. And then he ends up leaving the place. He drives away drunk, and he drives through that guy's house and kills his teenage son. Drives his truck right through his living room, his pickup truck. And yeah, that really happened. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the guy, but the last I had heard, they didn't even have any charges against him. He said it was an accident. I mean, he had to drive through this guy's yard for a long ways to hit the house. So it doesn't really appear to be an accident. And then after people saying that he was bragging about doing it, that he wanted to do it, it seems very suspicious. But there's all kinds of strange stories from my home like that. Probably your home too. Unexplainable things, you know. You think people would go to prison for the rest of their lives for doing really bad things, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't go to prison for very long. They get right out and do something else stupid. I'm sure Manafort will never get out, you know. I have no clue what he did, but it doesn't really matter. They never did solve the murder of Seth Rich, and they're never going to either. Nobody's ever going to go to prison for that.